Good morning, beautiful people. I'm gonna do a few things today. I have cleaning on my schedule. I already cleaned up the bathrooms, and I did a little bit of a facial, so the skin is cleaning right now. Itch. I was gonna steam up my face, but I was like, should I steam it after I'm done with everything? You know, when I'm ready to do my face for us to go out, or do it before. So we'll see. But anywho, y'all, this is breakfast. I have my grains in there, and then I have peanut butter powder, and then also added pineapple. A half a pineapple is like let's say half a pineapple. I added a square of pineapple in it, and then I also added 1 banana. So this is enough to keep me going for the morning. And then I also have my protein. I normally just prep my protein as well, because my goal every month, well, every day, let's start with the days. My goals for each day is to meet my protein requirement, which is at least 100 grams per day, at least. Now, preferably I would like to get to 130 grams of protein daily. Some days I do hit the 130, some days I do not, and I'm just moving through that motion. I do my best to at least hit 100 grams per day, at least. So that's that. So I'm gonna get my greens in while we do a quick bedroom cleaned up, and the basic. Okay, y'all, let's go.
Feels like the first time. Throw away all my pride. Don't wanna say I love you first. Holding it in just might make me burst. Love in the open. Daydreaming, hoping. Melting in heart. Whispering winds bring the remembrance that you're my girl. No shame, no games. I wanna fall in love, fall in love. I'll be your savage, I'll be your baddest bitch. Or do you like sweet caramel honey dipped? I'm yours till the beat flips. Don't let it slip. Give up my power. Yes, afraid to lose each other. Counting the hours till I see you.
What's up, guys?
I
feel good. A clean room always makes me feel amazing. So that's that. I'm still haven't finished my smoothie yet, so we're gonna finish the smoothie. But anyway, guys, this is what we're working with hair wise. The hair is again healthy. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you guys the hair that I'm gonna be using. My hair is all over the place. Look like somebody's lost child. So what I'm gonna do is show you guys the hair that I'm gonna be using, or the hair I used for my wedding. I got this from Her Giving Hair. It's a human hair, and it is a hairband wig. For any of my hairstyle, I try to like pre-prep my hair. Like the way I want my hair to be is what I will normally prep it for. So if I want like more of a fluffy / semi-curly style, this is more of that, because it has the fluff. I fluff a bit of it so it looks more naturally rather than just curly, because I am not a curly girl, I am a kinky girl. As for the hair, I'm gonna prep the front. I already did the roll of how I want my hair to go down. I don't know if I still want to keep that style, but I always have so much problem trying to like get the perfect roll. So I think this might be the way for me. I'll be manipulated because I wanna. Watch that, baby. All? We're all? All? How many? Oh, that's good. Thank you. Nah, I don't need it.
Hey, look, we're matching. Why are you always copying me, man?
Copying me. Look at this. Why you?
Who was dressed first?
Who
Who was dressed first?
But yeah, he gotta figure out what he's gonna wear for date night. I already have my fit. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. Ooh, child. In the world of Africans, we do this. We start with the nose, the pointed nose area, go in, and then we go. I need a mirror, so let's get the mirror. Alright guys, so while we get our hair done, like I said earlier, you guys already got the full 1-9 of the whole hairstyle. So let's talk. So 5 things I have actively worked on before getting married was my tone. Oh my god, I didn't know that was a thing, you know, like speaking more softly, changing the way I say things, like changing my tone was one of those things that I work on. So that's one. I learned to talk to my partner much more softer, more kinder, just understanding that understanding that the way he speaks to me is how he wants me to speak to him, even though that's not how I grew up. It's a learning process and being much kinder, and that takes a lot of like self-awareness, because once you realize what your problem is, it's very much easier to deal with. One thing to understand, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, oh, what did he do to make his relationship better? Iris has been one of the most patient person. Iris is extremely patient. He's extremely patient. And that goes hand in hand with expressing myself. So that was number 2. Number 2 was the way in which I express myself was a huge add-on, because I used to be the kind of person, when stuff bothered me, rather than me explaining it to him, I would expect him to just get it. You understand? And that was one of my biggest flaws when it came to dating. I realized that after my last relationship before Aris, I'm like, the way in which I express myself matters. And if you don't express yourself properly, you will be misunderstood. So learning how to express myself when it came to like anything was one of the biggest thing I had to work on. That was one of the biggest thing. Like if stuff bothered me, I would be the kind to like just rather leave it alone or just, you know, brush it off. And that was not the case for this relationship. I said, let's fix this. Let's not repeat any of the past act. So that was one thing I actively worked on. I have the hair in the back now, so I'm gonna fix the part that will be showing. So this part of my hair from here will be showing. So I want to make sure it's fixed nicely and silked down properly. Number 3 of my list was learning how to actively listen. I know a lot of the time we all say, yeah, we're listening, and most of the time we're listening for keywords, we're listening to reply and respond, we're just listening for triggering words that come out. Learning how to actively listen was one of the hardest things, because even to this day I found myself sometimes like falling off where I'm like listening, but then I'm like, and then I'm listening, but then maybe there would be a word that would be triggering to me, I would just like pop off. And I'm like, I have to catch myself. I'm like, oh, did it again. It's a normal thing, especially if that's how you were raised and that's something you have been doing for a long time. You are human, and these type of things are bound to happen if it's something that you already have been doing. And that's what one thing we'll come back to, Iris being patient. He's extremely patient, because even when I fall off, he just kind of like, you know, it's okay, babe. You know, because I'll beat myself over things that I'm working on, and you know, it's not getting to where it needs to get to. This is one thing I had to learn, that it takes time. You know, I've been living my life for a very long time. Well, not that long, but long enough, right? And I've been practicing and doing these things for all these years. What made me think it's just gonna take me 2-3 years to fix it? That's not possible. But anyway, yeah, so actively listening was one of those things that I had to like put a huge X on. It needs to be fixed, because it doesn't really stop with your relationship. It goes in with your family, with your friends. When you listen to people, you want to make sure that you're listening to everything they're saying, not just listening for keywords so you can respond to them. That's that. Number 4, I did a list for y'all. I had a bunch of lists, but we're gonna stick with 5. Number 4 was being kinder and softer and gentle when it comes to giving my partner criticism. I think that's one of those things. As an African, we're just harsh, you know. I learned that from a very long time ago, that we give criticism in a very harsh way. When you're criticizing your partner, this is somebody that is vulnerable with you. This is somebody that's open with you, and they trust you, and you don't want when you say things to them, you're leaving them feeling like something's wrong with them. You understand? You want them understanding the problem, but also understanding that they're also human as well. The same way you would like to be treated when stuff happens is the same way you want to treat them. I feel like it's very much easier said than done, because a lot of the time we say a lot of things. It's like, oh, I want this, I want you to treat me like that, I want you to do this to me. I would like when you tell me these things to not say it like that. It's very much easy to be like, oh, treat me like this, treat me like that. But then, you know, if you treat me right, I'll treat you right. But sometimes it never goes the other way around. So when it comes to criticism, be more gentle and softer with your partner. This is the person you love. You don't hit this person. You want them to get the message, but you also don't want them leaving feeling like shit. But the way in which I say it to him matters. You understand? I'm gonna give you guys an example. So before my husband and I moved in together, this is something we had agreed on. You know, like I was like, I'm gonna cook whenever you're hungry. I'm gonna do my best to cook. If I can't cook, we're gonna order out, obviously. You know, I'm a human being, you know, I have tired days. But I do my best to, you know, make sure there's food always at home. And you have to do your best to make sure that the dishes are always clean. Like, we made those packs before moving in together with the dishes and cooking. So I do the majority of the cooking, he does majority of the dishes, washing and everything. So most of the time he also cleaned the kitchen, which I really love, because that wasn't part of the deal. But if you're giving me a deep clean kitchen, I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, those are things you want to remember when it comes to giving criticism. Like, imagine washing the dishes and I'm like, just a little this there, just a little that there, right? Because when I do these things, I'm very much careful with how I do it, so I wanted to come out a specific way. But when you're co-partnering with a person, you have to understand that everybody's different and everyone do things differently. And when I tell him, like, say for example, he washed the cup and there's like smoosh in it. In the past, I would be like, I would be like, oh my god, you didn't clean this, you know, you didn't clean this right? Now, that's one way to go about it, but this might cause your partner to feel like shit, because they already went and they went out of their way to clean everything up for you, right? And then the first thing you decide to, you know, say is, oh my god, is not properly clean. I mean, oh my god, is not properly clean, rather than saying, oh, I see you washed the dishes, thank you. Oh, and by the way, you know, I'm giving you guys an example of what I've done. You know, this works amazingly because it keeps peace. So I go to him and I go, hey babe, thank you so much for cleaning the dishes, you know, I appreciate it, because, like, you know, people will tell you they're gonna do stuff and they would never do it. So the idea that he is still doing it, we've been living together for 3 years now, and he still do this. He every day every morning I watched him do this, and I'm just like, you know, he keeps his word. He's a man of his words, and I'm here for it. Instead of me saying, hey babe, thank you for, you know, cleaning the living room, that's the first thing you want to do. You want to acknowledge what they did right first. You don't want to point out the negative. Like, oh, look, you did this, you did that, you did that. Now, I'm pretty sure nobody would like to be treated that way, because I wouldn't like to be treated that way either. And it took me putting my feet in his shoes to understand, okay, that is not nice. You understand? That is not nice, because I never really saw it till I had to see it from my side. You understand? Or getting what I'm saying? But that's that, because he's working on his part. He's extremely gentle with me when he comes to me. Even when he gives me criticism, it doesn't feel like a criticism, because he starts with, oh, you're really good at this. You do, thank you so much for doing this. And then even like, oh, by the way, when you're doing this, can you do this instead? And immediately I don't see the criticism. So I had to take a page from his book in treating him the same way he treats me. I'm gonna do the edges area, just adding a little bit more gel at the edges. Okay, so let's put this into the loop to create tightness. Hi baby, you can come say hi to the people. I was telling them like 5 things I've worked on before getting married, or just within our relationship, a better partner as a whole.
Patience.
Patience. That is one of the many. I told him I was just giving him 5, but I had a whole list of things. I guess Iris can add a few of them that he noticed. So go ahead, baby. The patience. I've gotten very patient.
You've gotten less patient.
Less? You serious?
I'm joking.
I'm
more patient.
I've gotten very patient, and you have always been very patient with me, so it made things much easier. Like I was just explaining to them, I'm like, when you are dating a person who is selfless, it makes being selfless much more easier. Because a lot of the time it's like we all have a bit of selfishness in us, you know. Like but oh guys, do you see this? Hey,
It's nice.
it's very nice. But yeah, like I was saying, this is what the hair is looking like. So I'm just connecting the hairbands around. I'm gonna like tie it once I'll get it to where I need it to be. So watch and observe as we talk. But anyway, it's a battlefield for me. I was raised in a household where everything was fast. It's like, do this, do that, and then it's like you're being looked on top of. So I felt like that impacted me in so many ways psychologically that I can ever explain. And for a while I lived in anxieties. Like when we first met, I was telling him how I was doing therapy for anxieties. I was very anxious all the time. In school I was stressed, and I could never really understand why until my first like few therapies while I was in college. But yeah, but patient is one of them. What is another one?
You've made it more of a habit to stop and listen, like to what I'm saying. I feel like before you would, I guess, listen. You would react. Not even right. You would respond to how what I said made you feel versus what I actually said. Does that make sense?
I actually mentioned that. I said listen more listen to understand, not listen to respond.
Because I feel like I would say, and it might have been some fault on my part, because I would just say it, right? I wouldn't think about how I said it or how I said it affected how you felt. But I felt like even when I would ask, like, oh, what did I say? You would respond more or less with how it made you feel.
Right.
Whereas now I feel like when I say something, you're listening to what I'm saying.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Well, I do my best.
We disagree very little because of that. So
right.
If my partner requires XYZ for us to do better within our jobs or within our duty, within our positions, I'm gonna have to do that thing.
Right.
Right. I think a lot of people are more willing to put effort into their jobs, into their careers, than they are into their relationships, and I think that might be partially why their relationships suffer, because you don't see it like something that requires work.
Right. I think treating your relationship the way you would treat your job is a great way to look at it, because your relationship is a job. It requires work. Relationship requires work. And like before we even got married, people are like, "Oh, y'all would see, y'all would see." We had a lot of y'all would see, but one thing I've learned is like, what other people experience cannot be your experience. Remember that you can create your own experience. Don't ever allow people to tell you, "Oh, this is what you're gonna experience," or "This is how it's gonna be forever."
Wait till you have kids.
Yeah, like wait till you have kids.
Wait till you get married.
We have gotten the wait till you do this, wait till you do that.
Wait till you 10 years.
And we have crossed all of these paths. Like when we were dating, they're like, "Oh, y'all too fast. Wait till y'all do this." We moved in together, right?
Just wait till you move in.
We moved in.
Wait till you get married.
We figured everything out, and like we moved in a year, and then Iris had proposed that year that we moved together. Yeah. You proposed you proposed in 2021.
Correct.
We moved in 2020.
Yes.
So it was a year.
Yes,
we spent a year. Yeah, we were saying the same thing.
Okay, making sure.
Yeah, so we moved in 2020 from New York to Dallas, and then a year later, and then Iris had proposed, and then we moved again, and then I'm not moving again until we move. I already said this to myself. As much as I would like to explore more like complexes, I'm tired. I told him, I was like,
tired of paying rent.
I told him that I love the complex life. It's very comfortable. Everything is accessible and easy. But one thing I love about us is that we make sure that we plan before we do things. Like in planning and buying a house, which is our next step in our journey together, is buying a property. And I'm like, I do not want to move into another apartment. I just want to buy. I just want us to go ahead and buy now. Now the question was, is this gonna be your dream home and stuff? That was one of the things that we kind of stayed on very long. Is it gonna be a dream home, or is it gonna just be an investment property for to live in until we ready to move into our dream home? Have we really answered that question? Yeah. Thanks. What are 5 things you have worked on? How about that? How about you tell them 5 things you have worked on to better our relationship?
I said I try to work on my patience.
Baby, you have been patient as fuck.
Yeah, but you can always be.
You're gonna get more patient.
Yeah, I think you can always be more patient.
Cause you're one of the most patient person I know. Extremely patient. Sometimes I'm like, what is this guy smoking? Cause I want some.
I think I've worked on not taking everything so seriously.
Yeah, I think that was one thing I would say that was one of the flaws.
I feel like significantly better.
Oh no, you have gotten a lot better. You've gotten a lot better. I think it's the geek in you.
I mean, what I mean by specifically is like when it comes to just in a general sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like just learning to kind of go with the flow.
Yeah, relax and chill. Yeah.
I think I now know when to do one and the other.
Right.
Like I know.
What I think.
Like honestly, I feel like I've always been I joke all the time. I feel like generally speaking, I don't take so I have to specifically say, oh, I'm being serious now. Like you know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I think I joke a lot. But I think more or less like I don't know how to describe it. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. What else? I think just sitting and listening to what you have to say, and like similar to you, where you said listening to
understand.
To understand,
Not to react.
Exactly. Like when you're talking, I think to myself, like, what are you trying to tell me?
Right.
Right. Like, do I agree with what you're saying? Do I disagree, and why?
Right.
Right. Yeah. I feel like I've always been pretty disciplined.
Yeah, you're very disciplined.
But I think I'm working on being even more so.
More so.
Yeah, I think finding a balance between relaxing and working, I think I've gotten a good balance. I feel a better quality of life now that I know how to like do a little bit of both.
Right.
I think I've always been more go with the flow than you have, to be honest.
Yeah, I am more on the discipline end. I've always been like, that's how I was raised. I've gotten a lot better, but I don't know.
Nope.
Thank you.
I'm hungry.
Alright.
I'm hungry too.
Eggs and rice.
You know.
I'm gonna show you guys my
Finish your
outfits.
video on the
Okay guys, so I got my dress. So I got this dress from Amazon. I will link it in my description for you guys. I got it in size extra small because I read a review and everyone kept saying it was too loose. So I was like, yeah, let me detail to be able to do my bras like that. So I ship out my bras. I know. This is the final look. This is what I look like. This dress, gorgeous. I love this purple. I don't have anything like this in my closet, so this was a new add-on. I'm loving it. Kind of have a nice balance, and the green purse definitely changed the aroma of the fit. Guys, I am done here. This is the look. What you guys think? Y'all need to make sure y'all rate the outfit in the comments. This is a nice vibe, you know? It's a nice vibe. It's giving, it could be cold, but it could also be a little warmer because of the sleevelessness.
you.